Hi and welcome to another episode in my Citroen Relay van build series. In this episode I am going to be completing all my water services. So I'm going to be installing the pump set and showing you how I've done that, and also finishing off all the connections to the water tanks underneath. So let's crack on with that. Let's do it now. So what I'm going to be doing first in this episode is having a look at those water taps, the drain taps that came with the CAC tanks, and how to mount and fit those on the van. Okay, so as CAC tanks, here are the drain taps here. As they're kind enough to supply pretty well bugger all in the sense of mounting these to the van, I've been shopping, and what I've done is I've just nipped to my local B&Q, and I've got some metal work here which I'm going to mount them on, and I've got some 3/4 inch flange nuts and some 3/4 inch unions and some Jubilee clips. So I think the idea is I'm going to drill some holes through this plate to put those through, and then these 3/4 inch nuts will screw on the back of there. Difficult one-handed and holding the camera, but trust me on that they do, like so. So that will clamp that to there, and then this union will with a bit of persuasion go in the end of there, and then the pipe that we've got here will go over there. I'm going to have to be a little bit creative how that connects, because that's not quite big enough. So but because this is only drain water, I'm not going to bust a gut over that. I'll probably just wrap that in some loads of tape or something, and then Jubilee clip that on, and that should be a-okay. Right, okay, so I've just popped some pilot holes through here and here, because this is where I want to put them as low down as possible without the bottom of the thread dangling off the bottom of the metalwork. So they will sit in there like that and like that. There. I had to be careful to leave a little bit of a gap in the middle here, because of course when you operate the waste tank one, that will, so I'll just do this in the other hand here. It is a bit stiff. If I rotate that plug so it's in the open position, the two are pretty close to each other in the middle there, so I had to allow for that tap rotation like so. So now I've got the good old hole enlarger in the end of the drill, and let's drill these out to the appropriate size. Okay, so I got my bracket made up here using my bits of metal from B&Q. So I've drilled some new bolt holes here using aluminium nuts and bolts, of course, because this is outside and we don't want it to rust. And then I got my flange nuts on the back of here. And the reason why I put these extra two pieces on is I'm going to mount this like so. Let me show you. Let's get under the van here. Yep. So I'm going to fix that to the underside of the sill with some bolts up through there like that, so it hangs down nicely, and then from the outside, there we go, like that, and then externally that's how it's going to look. And then that should give that a nice bit of strength there for you know, operating these taps all the time. So I think that's going to be all right. So next job is, because I've cut loads of holes in this and it's probably only cheap steel from B&Q, is take it all apart and give it all a good spray paint in black, I think. Right, let's do that. Right, okay, my thing is done. So There we go, that's basically what it's going to look like. I thought I might as well put the little sticker on there that came from Cat Tanks as well, you know, seeing I had it. So we've got some stainless steel nuts and bolts through there holding all that together. And I've got the 3/4 inch flange nut on the back there, which came from B&Q and is available just as a spare part for just over £1. And my 3/4 inch unions, which are just pushed into the back of those taps, and that seems to be holding perfectly well. And I'm not sure whether you can see that on the video or not, but I just splodged some Gorilla Glue in behind the flange nuts and on the nuts and bolts, just to hopefully stop that coming loose as I'm driving along. That's not that Gorilla Super Glue, it's that one there, the kind of all-purpose super strength glue. So we just dab some of that around those flange nuts and around the stainless steel nuts and bolts, and then that is going to mount underneath the van. Nuts and bolts wise, just a little separate side note, this kit is marvellous. This comes from Screwfix, and you've got a whole array of different size nuts, bolts and washers in there, but be careful to get the stainless steel one when doing vans, of course, because they're not going to rust. And it says on the front there, I know it's upside down but you get the picture, stainless steel set, because there's two. They do a bulk standard zinc one and the stainless steel one, so make sure you get the right one there. Right, now comes the million-dollar question: where to put that? I'm thinking I could put it on so our orientation, there's the sliding door, so I'm thinking sort of on the underside here is a possibility, or I could go further back and put it under here, or I could do either locations on the other side as well. I'm going to ponder that and then come back to that in a few minutes.
1 week later.
Right, so I now have those mounted on the van, just there. I'll give that a try over the coming weeks and see how I get on with that. I'm a little bit concerned how close to the wheel it is, that they're going to get all mucky and horrible. But it's a nice short pipe run from the back of the water tanks to there. I could move it further forward this way, but it just means more pipe and means probably a slower drain, so we'll see how we get on with that, but I can always move that if I need to. Right, let's have a look at the rest of the water. So coming around this side of the van, let's just recap the water inlets. So I have my Fiamma fill point here, which goes to the water tank underneath, and I also have my whale connector here, which will allow for a sort of permanent mains water connection from a tap if we're on a campsite, using a special plug. Right, let's have a look on the inside and see where these are. Right, okay, so in this back corner here, that's the water fill pipe from the Fiamma water thing, which comes through and then straight out down through the floor and into the water tank underneath. And then my water feed coming back from the water tank is this fellow here. Now what I've used there, because there's a 15mm connector on the CAC water tank, I've used 15mm domestic plastic pipe here, which is on a push fit onto the water tank, and then that comes up through the floor there. Got an elbow on there, and then in here I've got a 15mm to 12mm push fit adapter, which then gets me onto the John Guest 12mm pipe. So that then sort of works its way behind here. I have my first on-off sort of isolation valve there. We come round through the filter and into the pump, and then from the pump we go through the accumulator, which is the Fiamma one that I got, and then we come out of there to another isolator there. So the idea of this is I can turn it off there, and I can turn it off here, and then the pump set is sort of fully isolated from all the water, so that can be disassembled and cleaned or repaired or whatever may need to be done to it. Interestingly, this middle piece here, which connects the two together, that doesn't come with the pump or with the accumulator. You have to buy that as a separate entity. So in order to save yourself some time waiting for that, do remember to order that from somewhere when you're ordering your pump and your accumulator. Otherwise you'll get halfway through the job and then think, oh damn, and then have to wait while you order one of those. So that's a top tip. And then we come, then the water out comes round here. This is where the whale connector sort of comes into play, which again is just on a couple of push fit connections to get us out of the cavity on the van, and works its way this way. And then what I have here is a 2-into-1 Y connector and 2 non-return valves. So the water will come in here and then we'll go off this way and go down, and that tucks in down behind the shower, and then we'll connect on to the shower and the sink and the toilet, and then it goes underneath the van, and you can see it pops up there the other side to connect the water to the sink in the kitchen. So that's how I've decided to do that. So when I'm on a campsite and I've got mains water feed, I'll connect my whale connector, then the mains water will come in here, it will go through here, the non-return valve here will stop the water going back that way, the wrong way through the pump set and into the water tank, so the water will go on into the van as it should. And on occasions where I don't have a mains water feed and I'm relying on my water tank, the water tank can be filled using that connector, and then the pump set and everything comes into play then, and we'll pump the water up here. It will go through the one-way valve, through the Y connector and on into the van, and then the top non-return valve will stop that water going that way up that connect pipe and out through the whale tap and back to the outside again. Or that's the theory of it all anyway, and I hope that works. I haven't tested it yet, but I don't see any reason why that shouldn't. The key component here, of course, are these 2 non-return valves to make sure the water doesn't go the wrong way. And so that's the sort of water pump set, which is tucked away nicely in the back corner there. And then I think what I'm going to do in good time is to these are the bed frame brackets. So the bed frame sort of comes down to here, so this is right underneath. So I'll probably build out a little box section and box that in, you know, with a door on the front, just to tidy that up when I have time. But that's one of those secondary jobs you do further down the line when the van build is effectively finished. Right, let's go outside and follow that pipe. Now a lot of this in here is going to be nicely explained during the shower build, but for now let's open this up, and in here you can see my let's get these cables out of the way. There's my cassette for the toilet, which is actually set back a little bit from the front here, and there's my water pipe coming in there. So what this does here is there's a T-piece there, and that's where it tucks down and goes underneath the floor to the sink the other side, and then it comes along here, it tees off here and goes into the shower, to the toilet and the sink, and then it carries on that way to the front of the van, where it goes into the Truma boiler. And what I liked about doing this, which I was quite chuffed with, is all these connections and everything here, look, which initially you think, oh, that's all buried behind the shower, that's not good, but actually of course it's all nicely accessible through the toilet hatch. And then the hot feed, so the hot pipe here is coming from the Truma boiler. It tees off there and goes through there to the sink and the shower, and then here it goes down underneath the floor and pops up the other side for the sink. Right, let's go back in around the other side again. And then over this side, which is where I effectively going to have my kitchen, I've got my hot and cold feed coming up in the corner there, and it runs underneath the floor under here. I did that because I wanted to have a free run through here from the front to the back and underneath the bed, so that if I ever wanted to put anything long in the van, I haven't got a sort of bulkhead here, which I know a lot of van builders do, and then run their pipework along the back of this sort of bulkhead there. But I wanted to keep that open and free in the middle there, so I've decided to run my pipes under the floor. And then what I've decided to do with the front of the shower, because is the shower cubicle kind of half built, and got this fold down sink in here with a tap that comes round. This came from Magnum Motorhomes and is designed specifically to fit with the Thetford sort of bench toilet there, so that's a nice matching pair. And when I put my sort of front panel on the shower here, I'll have my main entrance door here. But then also here, what I'm going to do is cut out a little access door in there, which will be flush fitting on there, and then that can be opened. And then what that is going to allow me to do is through in here, look, I've got my toilet pipe connector and various other connectors and things in there, which will still be accessible for maintenance or cleaning or you know, whatever else may occur, rather than having that completely buried and lost and never be able to get it again. I'm going to put a little access door in there that can be opened from inside to get into that lot. That, I think, pretty much sums up the water so far. So, hope you found all that interesting. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.